3 months ago, the Franklin boys basketball team was playing for the state championship. 1 season later, the Franklin boys baseball team is playing for the Super 8 State High School Baseball Championship. Hi neighbors, and welcome to Franklin TV and MixLR.com. This is Pete Royce working alongside Joe Clark. And Joe, this is what it's all about. But how can you stress enough that Franklin put together 2 championship caliber seasons in basketball and tonight baseball?
It's really a testament to the program and specifically the coaching basketball. Obviously, CJ Neely, a great coach. And here for baseball, Zach Brown, one of the most underappreciated managers in the state. Done a whole lot with this team. Turned them around, obviously a slow start to start the year. They really turned it around. They had 10 runs in their first 4 games of the year, and here they're in the Super 8 on the strength of their offense, on one of the hottest offenses in the state, and that's why they're the only undefeated team remaining in this tournament.
A great testimony to the program, and as you said, Zach Brown, and he, of course, will have his team out here tonight facing a team they faced less than a week ago, the Raiders of Central Catholic High School.
What a game that was, an instant classic.
Yeah.
Franklin put up 3 runs in the top of the 2nd inning. Central Catholic came back with 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Stayed that way until the 9th when Franklin was able to put a run up to tie it up and won the game in extra innings. A little bit of controversy in that game. There's obviously the play at first base that allowed Nally to get on, and he ended up scoring the go-ahead run.
Claiming that the pitcher missed the bag.
Yeah. And from talking to people, I do believe that he did miss the bag. From our angle, we obviously didn't have
We were blocked.
We were blocked. Yeah. But I was told that they got the call right. But it'll be a great game. 2 very evenly matched teams and 2 truly great offenses.
They really are. Central comes in with a record of 18-6. Franklin 19-5. One thing to mention, if Franklin wins tonight, they are the state Super 8 champions. If Central wins tonight, because it's a double elimination tournament, there'll be another game 2 nights from now. So that's the setting. We're at Brockton, Campanelli Stadium, the home of the Brockton Rocks. And here's your starting lineups. Franklin will be the visiting team. They'll have Colby Fitzgibbons leading off at second base. Scott Elliott will bat second in left field. Alex Haba is the shortstop batting third. The cleanup hitter is the catcher, Jake Mackey. The designated hitter bats next, Cooper Ross. Hitting in the 6th slot is the center fielder, Jack Nally. Batting 7th at first base, Steve Lutazzi. Batting 8th, the third baseman, Jake Noviello. And batting 9th, the right fielder, Evan Wendell. The umpires for today's game: at third base, Mo Duffy. At first base, Brendan McCarthy. And at home plate, David Audette. The Central defense, they'll have Sean Thompson in left, Joey Sanchez in center, Mike Biero in right, Mike Lefebvre at third, Dante Pistone gets the start at short, Jake Delaney at second, Mike Borelli at first. On the mound is Noah Lucier. He'll be pitching to Dom Keegan. Fitzgibbons steps in. The first pitch of the ball game is swung on and hit deep into right center field for a base hit. What a start for Fitzgibbons. He lines the first pitch of the game to right center. Franklin has a runner on first to open up the game.
Doesn't get much better than that. First pitch swinging, and Fitzy puts it into center field for the single.
This will set up Scott Elliott, the left fielder. Elliott batting in the 2 slot. Colby Fitzgibbons on at first. Lucier from the stretch now, pitches home, and Elliott comes out swinging. So Franklin, not waiting around, they swing on the first 2 pitches to the first 2 batters. No balls and 1 strike to Scott Elliott. The 0-1 home, swung on and foul tipped. Foul tipped to the backstop, actually. No balls and 2 strikes. 3 pitches, 3 swings, 1 single and 2 strikes. One of the factors tonight will be the wind. It's unbelievably strong, blowing from first to third. Anything to left will get a big boost. Anything to right will be knocked down, and anything in the air will be an adventure. The 0-2 pitch, Elliott takes it just low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Franklin 19-5 on the season. Central Catholic 18-6. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Scott Elliott. The stretch in the pitch is high and away, 2-2. Lucier actually finished up the last game against Franklin, came in from shortstop. But he's starting this game. 2-2 home, fouled back by Elliott. He's taking some good rips at it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Overcast, a threat of rain, and as we said, strong, strong gusty winds.
Let's hope this rain holds off.
Absolutely. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The throw to first, Fitzgibbons dives back safely. Two balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch home. That's high and away. 3-2. We'll watch Fitzgibbons on this one. 3 balls and 2 strikes, no outs. Lucier got ahead of Elliott. 2 quick strikes, but now the count has run full. 3-2. Fitzgibbons not running, and the pitch is strike 3 called. Elliott takes a called 3rd strike, and Franklin has its first out recorded. Tremendous winds. You can probably hear it in our microphones. This will bring up Alex Haba. Haba, the starting shortstop for Coach Zach Brown and the Panthers. Pitch home is fouled back by Haba. No balls and 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out. Just the start of things from Campanelli Stadium, the Super 8 state finals. Throw to first. Fitzgibbons at first base, now with 1 out. Lucier from the stretch, foul back. Elliott on top of that ball, fouled it behind home to the first base side. No balls and 2 strikes on Alex Haba, I should say. Elliott had been retired on the strikeouts. Haba at the plate. The 0-2 delivery. Low, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dimensions 320 to each line, 403 to dead center. The 1-2 pitch, and that's strike 3 called. 2 consecutive called strikes. Strike 3s on Elliott and Haba. And this will bring up the Panthers cleanup hitter, Jake Mackey, the catcher. Mackey in the 4th slot. Still has Fitzgibbons on first base, now with 2 outs. The pitch is wide, throw to first, not in time. Fitzgibbons comes back. Ball 1 to Mackey. Cooper Ross, the designated hitter, on deck. With Woelfel pitching, Noviello plays 3rd and Ross moves to DH, and he's on deck. Here's the pitch. That's low and away. Fitzgibbons had a notion but stayed at first. 2 balls and no strikes to Jake Mackey. The 2-0 delivery, and that's low, ball 3. 3-0 to Mackey. Fitzgibbons had singled, still at first base, has not attempted to run. 3-0. Mackey takes it down the middle for strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike to Jake Mackey. Borelli holding Fitzgibbons on first. A bit of a hole on the right side for Mackey if he goes to the opposite field. He swings and pops it up to deep left. The wind is boosting that ball.
That's
the wind
gone.
is taking it out for a home run. Mackey clears the fence and left, and Franklin leads it 2-0. Jake Mackey took advantage of the wind. He did get good wood on it, but the ball just kept sailing. The left fielder Thompson just took a look behind and said that ball is gone, and sure enough, it cleared the wall in left center field. The Panthers on the board 2-0. Cooper Ross at the plate, and he backs away from a pitch inside. 1 ball and no strike. So again, Franklin getting off to the quick start. They led against Central the last game, as Joe mentioned in our open, 3-0 with a 3 spot in the second inning. Here they put up 2, playing still in the first inning. I just saw a flash of lightning, Joe, in the distance. That is not a good sign.
Not at all promising.
The 2-0 delivery, way high and up inside. 3-0 to Ross. We'll see if that home run unnerved the starting pitcher, Noah Lucier. Lucier, a senior. Central starts a whole bunch of seniors. 7 of them. And that's ball 4. So Ross takes a walk. And we move to the number 6 slot in the order for the Panthers, and this will bring up Jack Nally, the center fielder. And here comes Mark Pelletier, the coach, in his 32nd year out for a conference. The whole infield draws in. Timeout on the field. We're in the first inning. 2-0 Franklin. You're watching state championship baseball on Franklin TV and listening to it on mixlr.com. So Pelletier has his say and returns to the dugout. Franklin 2 in, 1 on, 2 outs. Jack Nally facing Lucier, the pitch, and that's a strike. No balls, 1 strike to Jack Nally. Steve Lutazzi, who hit a home run the other day at this field, on deck. The 0-1 home, curveball, swung on, missed. He had Nally way out in front of it. No balls and 2 strikes. Cooper Ross on first base, having drawn a walk. Top of the first from Campanelli Stadium in Brockton, Mass. Pete Royce and Joe Clark were on the first base side in the stadium. Pitch is away, ball 1. Well, Lucier's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning, Joe. We'll see if, I suppose it's not as much of a factor because it's all hands on deck for both sides in terms of pitching. Changeup is popped up. The wind is going to knock this down. It's going to go to the second baseman, and he catches it. That's Jake Delaney to retire the side. Franklin gets 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We're in the middle of the first. From Brockton, you score Franklin 2, Central Catholic coming up. So we move to the bottom of the first. Franklin with a quick 2-0 lead, and they'll face Central Catholic's top 3 in the order: Joe Sanchez, Dante Pistoni, and Dom Keegan. 2-0 Franklin on the mound. Brian Wolfel will check the defense for the Panthers in just a moment. Wolfel, the senior right-hander, his first pitch of the game, and Sanchez takes it for a strike. The defense for Franklin in the outfield, left to right, Scott Elliott, Jack Nally, and Evan Wendell. From third to first, Jake Noviello, Alex Haba, Colby Fitzgibbons, and Steve Lutazzi. Brian Wolfel pitching to Jake Mackey. The pitch was called a strike. 2 strikes. I believe they said that Sanchez swung on it. Here's the 2-strike delivery. A little looper hit the second base, and right there is Colby Fitzgibbons. The ball just died there. Soft liner to second. 1 out. And here's Dante Pistoni. Pistoni, a rare underclassman starting. They have 7 seniors, a junior, and he's a sophomore. He's starting because the usual shortstop, Noah Lucier, is pitching. Pitch is a ball. 1-0 to Dante Pistoni. Pitch is a strike.
Yeah, Wolfer really relies on his off-speed stuff more than his fastball. He's had a lot of success with it this year, too.
A grounder, a high chopper, and 1 hop to Lutazzi. He has it. 2 outs. 3 unassisted on the play. And Dom Keegan, the Vanderbilt-bound catcher, heading up to the plate. Keegan, Joe, nearly won the game in the ninth for Central when his blast hit 3/4 of the way up on the wall. If it had gone over, the game would have ended with a walk-off, and he was stranded at third base.
And Keegan and Hajar, this 3-4 is going to be dangerous because their pole is to left field. So with this wind, that's definitely something to look for.
Strike to Keegan. Here's the second pitch. Ground ball up the middle. He just whacked it right up the middle for a base hit. Keegan with a nice stroke lashes it into center field on a couple of hops. And this will bring up their fourth hitter and their DH, Steve Hajar. Hajar heading to Michigan University. So a couple of Division I college-bound students on the field for Central. Of course, we know about Franklin pitcher, not tonight, but their usual #1 pitcher, Jake Noviello. He's bound to Fairfield to pitch for the Fairfield Stags. Pitches a ball to Steve Hajar. Two outs, one on for Central. A ground ball up the middle, and that's a base hit. And Keegan is going to make it all the way to third. Here's the throw in by Nally, and it's first and third for Central. Two hits almost in the identical spots up the middle. Keegan and Hajar 3 and 4. And this will set up their fifth hitter, Mike Borelli. He's their first baseman. Also a big guy up there. Keegan, Hajar, and Morelli have great size. Tying runs, the potential tying runs on base for Central Catholic out of the Merrimack Valley Conference, which they've won the last 3 years. Woelfel in a jam, first and third, 2 outs. Here's his pitch home, and that's a ball outside.
So I got clarification on the rule for the weather. They have, if they play 4.5, they can restart the game. They can resume the game. If they play less, they have to restart, but they have to play a full 9 innings.
Wow, so it will not be a shortened game then. 1-1. Here's the pitch. That's low. 2-1 to Borelli. Two balls and 1 strike. The bottom of the first. This game is starting the way the last game ended. Pitches away. 3-1, which is all kinds of big-time plays. 3-1 to Borelli, the 5-hitter. Woelfel checks his runner on first and delivers home. That's a strike, 3-2. So Hajar at first will get a head start, which means anything hit to the outfield, he's got a chance to score if it drops in. He'll be running with the pitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Keegan off of third. Hajar off of first. Woelfel checks both runners and delivers home. A pop-up, high pop-up hit into the infield. Alex Haba wants it at shortstop, and he takes it for the retiring of the side. That's a big stress pitch there, and Woelfel gets the job done. We've played 1 complete here from Campanelli Stadium in Brockton. The State High School Super 8 Championship. Franklin leads it 2-0. So we've played 1 inning here from Campanelli Stadium in Brockton, and Franklin managed to keep its 2-run lead as Woelfel pitched out of a jam there in the bottom of the first. For the Panthers, they'll send up 7, 8, and 9 here in the top of the second. First batter up there is Steve Lutazzi, the first baseman. Left-handed batter against Noah Lucier. Pitch home is popped up high in the infield. Shortstop now being called off as the ball drifts out to left field, and Sean Thompson, the left fielder, makes the catch. So Lutazzi is out on 1 pitch. I don't know how many times, Joe, Franklin has swung on the first pitch.
Good to be aggressive early in the count, though.
Jake Noviello will step up, the starting third baseman tonight. Noviello bats from the right side. Tall right-handed batter. Takes a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Noviello.
He's another threat to go deep with this weather. He's shown some power all year. Even though he's batting low in the order, he's definitely a guy who can put a charge into one.
Change up, maybe a curveball in the dirt. 1-1 to Noviello. Check it, 2 balls, no strikes. Noviello swings and takes the big rip. Comes up empty. 2-1 to Fairfield University bound Jake Noviello. Pitch is at the knees for a strike. It's a big target when Noviello is up there. He's 6'5". 2-2. 1 out here in the top of the second. Lucier's pitch. Noviello just below the knees, ball 3. So Lucier goes to full on Noviello. Evan Wendell, the right fielder in the 9 slot, on deck for the Panthers. The payoff pitch to Noviello swung on and popped up. Going down the right field line, first baseman digging for it. He can't catch it. It fell in foul territory on the track, but not being able to get there was Mike Borelli. He was battling the wind as well. So the ball will drop out of play, well, in play, but inbounds, but no catch. No error there as well. And it's another 3-2 pitch forthcoming to big Jake Noviello. And here it is. Noviello swings and lashes a single into left field. Beautiful timing on that play by Noviello. Just raked it into left between third and short. And Franklin has his 3rd hit of the night. Evan Wendell will step up. Wendell, the right fielder, bats in the 9 slot. Pitch is swung on and missed. No balls and 1 strike. 2 outs, 1 on for the Panthers. Second inning. Lucier's pitch home. Swung on and missed by Evan Wendell. One out, 1 on. On deck, Colby Fitzgibbons, who opened the game with a single, and he scored the first Panther run. Pitches in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Noah Lucier checks Noviello off at first. Pitch home is swung on and missed, and Wendell goes down. 3rd K of the night for Lucier, and this will bring up Colby Fitzgibbons. Fitzgibbons singled and scored ahead of the nice home run by Jake Mackey in the 1st inning. We'll watch Noviello now with 2 outs. Colby Fitzgibbons at the plate. The ball is in the dirt. Noviello does not advance. Nice stop by Keegan, kept it in front of him. 1-0 to Colby Fitzgibbons, the 2nd baseman for the Panthers. In the leadoff slot, we mentioned in our last telecast, Franklin's first 6 batters came into the tournament all batting over 300. Fitzgibbons takes the strike. 1-1. Overcast skies at the moment. No rain yet. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs in the top of the 2nd. Fitzgibbons takes it at below the knees for a ball. 2-1. On deck, Scott Elliott. The senior right-hander, Lucier, from the stretch. Pitch is fouled off by Fitzgibbons. Hit the first pitch of the game to right center field for a line single. 2-2 now on Colby Fitzgibbons. Fitzgibbons, a senior, takes it outside, 3-2. So this will give Noviello a head start at first base. 3-2, 2 outs. Franklin leads Central Catholic 2-0 in the top of the 2nd inning. Lucier home. Noviello takes off. The pitch is driven to center field, but it's going to hang up in the wind. And now the center fielder, Sanchez, comes in a step and hauls it in for the 3rd out of the inning. 1 hit is all Franklin gets across in the top of the 2nd. In the middle of 2 from Campanelli Stadium in Brockton, The Panthers lead it 2-0 over Central Catholic. So we move to the bottom of the second here from Campanelli Stadium in Brockton. 2-0 Panthers, and their pitcher, Brian Wolfel, will face 6, 7, and 8. Mike Piero, the right fielder, Noah Lucier, the pitcher, and Sean Thompson, the left fielder. The first pitch is taken for a ball on Mike Piero, the right fielder. The 1-0 home. Piero lines it to right field. This is going to split the gap. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Piero rounds second. He's going to pull up there. A long double to right center field by Mike Piero. The wind had absolutely no effect on that. It was a low liner, and Piero took it all the way to the right center field wall, where Wendell ran it down and got it in quickly, holding Piero to a long double. A good start here in the second for Central Catholic, and Noah Lucier, the pitcher, will have a chance to help his own cause. Batting in the 7th slot for coach Mark Pelletier of Central Catholic. Have to watch Piero. He's got a big lead off of second base. Haba playing behind him, and they're going to fake throw to second, and this will drive Piero back. The right-handed batter, it's a tough call for Haba because he has to protect the hole there as well as keep the runner close. Pitch is a strike to Noah Lucier. No balls and 1 strike to Lucier. Piero leading off second base. Pitch home is lined down the right field line, foul, and that's going to go into the stands. No balls and 2 strikes to Noah Lucier. One of 7 seniors starting for Central Catholic. If you count the DH, that's 8. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Lucier fans on a nice pitch. The first strikeout of the game for Brian Wolfel. This will bring up the 8th hitter, Sean Thompson, the left fielder. Seems like the skies have brightened a bit here. Not that dark overcast that it was at the start of the game. The pitch is outside, ball 1 to Sean Thompson. Bottom of the second. Piero off second, pitch home is a strike at the knees. What a pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sean Thompson. Wolfels, 1-1, too high and inside, 2-1. Outfield straight away on Thompson. And here's the 2-1 pitch. And that's a strike at the knees on the outside edge. 2-2. Wolfel painting the plate here on this at bat to Sean Thompson. Piero off of second. Wolfel with the stretch and the pitch home. Strike 3 called. 2 Ks in a row, 1 swinging and 1 looking for Brian Wolfel. 2 outs in the second. Here's the number 9 hitter, Mike Lefebvre, the third baseman coming up. Lefebvre, a left-handed batter, throws right. The doubling Piero leads off second. First pitch to Lefebvre, swung on and foul tipped in and out of the glove of Jake Mackey. No balls and 1 strike to Mike Lefebvre. Wolfel's pitch, little liner down the left field line, foul and out of play. And Wolfel quickly gets in front of Mike Lefebvre here in the bottom of the second. As Joe said, the team has to play 9 innings. If they don't get 5 in today, they'll restart the whole game. If they get 5, they'll resume from the point of suspension should we encounter bad weather. Right now, the skies are brightening here in Brockton. The backing off the mound is Wolfel, driving Piero back. No balls and 2 strikes to Mike Lefebvre. The top of the order is up next for Central. 2-strike pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. As Woelfel retires the side, gets 3 strikeouts in a row to end the second inning. We've played 2 from Campanelli Stadium in Brockton. Your score, Franklin 2, Central Catholic nothing. We move to the third inning. The line score so far after 2 complete, Franklin 2-3-0, Central Catholic 0-3-0. 2, 3, and 4 will bat against Noah Lucier. For Franklin, Scott Elliott, Alex Haba, and Jake Mackey. First pitch of the inning is bounced in front. Elliott takes ball 1. He struck out looking in the first inning. 2-0 Franklin by virtue of a 2-run home run by Jake Mackey, his first home run of the year for the Panthers, and what a time to get it. Pitches popped up sky high to shortstop. What a towering pop-up. Pistone battles the wind and makes the catch. Good play by Pistone. 1 out for Franklin in the third, and here's Alex Haba. He also took a called third strike in the second inning. Haba, the shortstop, bats from the right side against the right-handed offerings of Noah Lucier, whose pitch home is a breaking ball high and inside. 1-0. The next one home, that's down the middle for a strike. Jake Mackey, who homered, is on deck, and he will bat this inning. The 1-1 home, low, bit of a let-up pitch there by Lucier. 2 balls and 1 strike to Haba. Neither team has made an error in the first 2 innings. The 2-1, and that's a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good location on that one from Lucier.
Lucier to the wind, and the pitch home is fouled off to the first base side. First baseman Borelli chasing, and he can't catch it. He had it in his glove, or it hit the glove. We said that pop-ups would be an adventure. He had to battle the wind and the railing. They have not posted an error on that, so they may just call it no play. Tough play either way for Borelli. He had quite a ways to go. Went off his glove. Does not appear that they have granted him an error, so no play on the play. 2-2 coming to Alex Haba. Lucier delivers. Pop foul behind home plate and over the roof. Out of play. Count hangs at 2-2 with Mackey on deck. The 2-2 pitch home. Curveball is hit high to right field. It's going to hang up in the wind. The right fielder is going to come over Piero and make the catch. Fly out to right. 2 up and 2 down in the top of the third, and here's Jake Mackey. Mackey with 1 on in the first, banged out a 2-run homer to dead left field. Mackey, the starting catcher for his coach, Zach Brown. Lucier delivers to Mackey. He hits a line drive. It's dropping fast down the left field line. Diving
what a
for
catch.
it, and making the catch is the left fielder, Sean Thompson. Thompson took a double away from Mackey on a beautiful catch. I didn't think he'd get to it, but he does. 3 up and 3 down in the third. The middle of 3 from Brockton. Franklin 2, Central Catholic nothing. We move to the bottom of the third now here in Brockton. Central will have the top of the order. Sanchez, Pistone, and Keegan, 1, 2, and 3 against Brian Woelfel. And it has started to rain lightly here in Brockton. A light rain falling. It's ironic that it's raining because the skies have actually brightened in the last 15 minutes. Woelfel's pitch home, a ground ball foul to first base. First base coach handles it. No balls and 1 strike to Joe Sanchez. He popped out to second base. Colby Fitzgibbons making the grab in the first inning. Pitch home, hits the dirt and bounces to the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike to Joe Sanchez. Rain a little bit harder now. Some of the fans heading for cover. Woelfel's pitch home is a ground ball down the first baseline. It stays fair, and Lutazzi makes the catch and tags the base for the first out. Second time he's done that. 3 unassisted for the second time. And Dante Pistone will step up as more fans head for the concourse area. Raining a little harder now. 1 out in the bottom of the third. Woelfel's pitch home is a strike. Pistone, the shortstop, hit one of those grounders to Lutazzi, 3 unassisted in the first inning. Pitch is a little low. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 home. That's outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. The powerful third hitter for Central on deck, Dom Keegan. He lashed a single in the first inning. Pitch home is popped up. This is dropping fast. Center fielder Nally is there, though, and makes the catch. The wind might have held that up a bit. Soft fly out to center. 2 up and 2 down. Woelfel has retired 5 in a row. And Dom Keegan, the catcher, stands in from the right side. Woelfel's pitch is a strike. Keegan, after he singled, was moved to third on a single by his teammate Steve Hajar, but he was stranded there when Borelli popped out. There's a ground ball up the middle and past Fitzgibbons for a base hit. Second hit of the night for Keegan. Almost the same spot, maybe a little more towards the second baseman than the last one, which was more up the middle over the second base bag. But nevertheless, both go through to center field for base hits, and this will bring up their designated hitter and their fourth hitter, their cleanup man, Steve Hajar. 2 outs, 1 on in the bottom of the third. Woelfel's pitch is lined deep to left field, and this is going to go foul. Might have had home run depth, but plenty foul down the left field line. Hajar, a big, big prospect. He's going to be a college player at Michigan. No balls and 1 strike. The pitch home, outside, ball 1. 1-1, 1 on, 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Franklin leading Central Catholic 2-0. Woelfel with an eye on Keegan. The 1-1 home. Taken out high, I guess. 2 balls and 1 strike to Hajar, the DH. The stretch by Woelfel. The pitch home at the knees, but below the knees. 3-1, according to the home plate umpire. And that is David Audette. 3-1 with 2 outs. Woelfel checks Keegan. Delivers home. That's a strike. As Hajar took 2 steps to first base and is called back. 3-2. Keegan will get a running start off first base with 2 outs. Woelfel checks him. Keegan takes off. Here's the pitch home. Fouled off the net. So we'll do it again. Hajar hanging in on 3-2. Woelfel made a nice pitch. He had Hajar leaning out a little bit for that. 3-2, 2 outs. Keegan off first. He takes off. The pitch home is ball 4. Oh, it was a close pitch.
Yeah, just
very
a tad
close
high.
pitch. And this will bring up the first baseman in the 5 slot for the Raiders, Mike Borelli. 2 on again. Central has stranded 3 runners in the first 2 innings. They have 2 on here in the third. Borelli, he popped out to end the first inning to shortstop. And he's way out in front of a let-up by Woelfel for strike one. Fouled it off. Just got the end of the bat on that ball. The rain is practically stopped here. A few drops. Woelfel's pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. So he mixes the change with the heat. And it's no balls and 2 strikes with 2 on here in the bottom of the third. The 0-2 pitch home. Borelli swings and fouls it back to the screen. He had a good rip on that one. Big first baseman standing in. No balls and 2 strikes. Woelfel gets the sign, the stretch, and the pitch home. Borelli swings and misses, strike 3. The 4th K of the game for Brian Woelfel. 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 left. We've played 3 from Brockton. Your score, Franklin 3, Central Catholic nothing. 1/3 of the game is over, and Franklin leads it 3-0, and Cooper Ross stands in the 4th inning for the Panthers, and he takes a pitch below the knees for ball 1. Just a few drops falling. Some of the fans who went undercover have returned to their seats here at Campanelli Stadium. Pitch is ball 2. They want to check at first base, and they're going to ring him up with a strike. They went down the first, and the first base umpire, Brendan McCarthy, said he swung. Cooper Ross 1-1 now with the count. Lucier, curveball, has Ross out in front. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the 4th inning, Panthers ahead 2-0, breaking ball in the dirt. Ross in the first inning, he walked following the Mackey homer. It brought a conference out to the mound, with Mark Pelletier, their coach. And the next batter was retired after the homer and the walk. Pitches below the knees for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Cooper Ross. The DH for Coach Zach Brown. Leading off here in the visitors' 4th. Pitches, hits him. It hit Ross in the left shoulder. First hit batsman. Lucier had walked Ross earlier in the game in the first inning. Now he hits him here in the 4th. Jack Nally will come up now in the 6th slot. He popped up to second base in the first inning, ending the first inning after Franklin had put 2 runs in on the 2-run homer by Jake Mackey. Pitch is fouled out near us and over our heads and bounces off the wall for a long strike. 0-1 to Jack Nally, the center fielder for the Panthers. Ross, the hit batsman, off at first base. Pitch home is swung on and fouled back over the press box right behind home plate. 0-2 for Jack Nally. Lucier checks Ross. Few drops are falling again, Rain. The pitch is high. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Nally. Ross off first, the 1-2 pitch about to come, and here it is. It's in the dirt. What a stop by Keegan. That ball hit 5 feet in front of the plate. Keegan not only stopped it, he caught it. 2-2 now on Nally. Steve Lutazzi, the Panther first baseman, waits on deck. Franklin 2-3-0, Central 0-4-0. Pitch in the dirt, a nice stop by Keegan again. 3-2, the count is full. We'll watch Ross at first base. We haven't seen anyone attempt to run on Keegan in this the second time we've seen the 2 teams match up. Ross takes off. The pitch is lined deep to center field, but it's going to hang for Sanchez, and he makes the catch for the out. Ross had been moving on the pitch, but he retreats to first base safely. 1 on, 1 out, and Steve Lutazzi will come to the plate. The left-handed batting first baseman flew out to left field in the second inning. Raindrops falling here in Campanelli Stadium. And Lutazzi backs off as Pelletier came out and talked to the home plate umpire. Had a brief conversation with him. Throw to first, and Ross is back safe. Lutazzi bats in the 7th slot for coach Zach Brown. Franklin going for its 20th victory of the season. They've dropped only 5. They are the number 7 seed in the tournament, facing number 4 seed Central Catholic in the Merrimack Valley area. Pitch home to Lutazzi. He takes a strike. No balls and 1 strike. The stretch by Noah Lucier. And the pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2. Lutazzi aired it out. Left-handed batter. Rain falling a little bit harder now. The stretch. The 0-2 home. Lutazzi hits a line shot to center field. It's going to go out there over the center fielder's head, all the way to the wall. Center fielder Sanchez gets it in, and they will stop Ross at second base. He had to hold up just a bit to be sure that ball fell in, and indeed it fell over the center fielder's head and one-hopped the wall 403 feet away. What a blast by Steve Lutazzi. And this will bring up Noviello with 2 runners in scoring position. Rain falling a little harder here, and Pelletier, the coach, is going to come out and have a conference. There's a timeout on the field, the rain falling in Brockton. You score in the middle of the 4th. Franklin 2, Central Catholic nothing. So time about to resume, and following that timeout, there's going to be a pitching change. Aiden Abernathy, who the Panthers saw in their previous matchup in this tournament against Central, is on in relief of Noah Lucier. Abernathy, the big stocky right-hander, will face Noviello with runners on second and third and only 1 out. Noviello singled in the second inning off of Lucier. The infield is drawn in. The rain falling harder. Abernathy's pitch, a let-up, is in there for a strike. A beauty by Abernathy. 0-1 to Jake Noviello. Second and third, 1 out. Lutazzi off second, Cooper off third. Abernathy, the stretch, the infield is in. Noviello hits a ground ball to the mound. They got a runner picked, but they're going to go to first for the out instead. He had Ross way down the line, but he elected to go to first and not bother with him. Not sure he totally had him in a rundown, but Ross was way down the line, but he elected to go to first and record the out on Noviello. So now the infield can back up, and Evan Wendell will be up. Second and third, 2 outs now. Steady rain falling. Abernathy in on relief. Pitch hits Wendell. Wendell hit by a pitch. And the bases are loaded. To the top of the order we go. And Colby Fitzgibbons, 2-hit batsman in this game, in this inning. Lucier hit Ross, and now Abernathy hits Wendell. Bases loaded for Fitzgibbons. He singled and scored in the first and flew out to center field in the second. No place to put Fitzgibbons. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Top of the 4th. Franklin leads it 2-0. Abernathy's pitch home. Fitzgibbons takes a strike. Abernathy seems to be pitching backwards in the count. Starts with the off-speed stuff and then goes to his faster pitches. 0-1 to Fitzgibbons. The 0-1 delivery. A changeup again. 2 straight changeups to start Fitzgibbons. 1-1 to the left-handed batter, Colby Fitzgibbons, the second baseman in the number 1 slot for Franklin. 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch, Fitzgibbons fouls it to left field and out of play. way down the line on a play. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. One and 2 for Kobe Fitzgibbons. Bases loaded in the 4th. Abernathy looks in to Keegan for the sign, gets it. The stretch. The pitch home to Fitzgibbons. He swings and hits it to right to the second baseman. A nice play by Delaney. Over to first for the out. Central gets out of the jam. No runs. 1 hit. No errors, 2 left. The score in the middle of the 4th. Franklin 2, Central nothing.
There you go.
So we move to the bottom of the 4th. Franklin still leading at 2-0. Mike Piero, their 6th hitter, is up against the right-hander Brian Woelfel. Rain falling here in Brockton. The pitch is inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Piero doubled in the 2nd inning and was left stranded there after Woelfel retired 3 straight batters on strikeouts to end the 2nd. Pitch is outside, ball 2. 2-0 on Mike Piero, the right fielder. Rain falling. Most of the fans on the Central side are under the roof. On the Franklin side, they're still out there in the stands, Joe. They're the hardier of the bunch.
Looks like it.
Piero, 2 balls and 1 strike. Woelfel, the 2-1 delivery, it's low, 3-1. Piero, a right-handed batter. The second, he had a double. He's a right fielder. Pitch is fouled towards the Franklin dugout. Two balls and 2 strikes to Mike Piero in the bottom of the 4th. Woelfel's 2-2 pitch. Outside, it was a 3-2 pitch, so that's a walk. That's the first walk of the game for Brian Woelfel. So the potential tying run will come to the plate in the person of Noah Lucier. No, check it. Lucier is going to re-enter the game, Joe, so I'm not sure where he's going to play, but he's going to re-enter the game.
Looked like he played shortstop.
So they may move some people around. Lucier was the pitcher. He was taken out, but now he's re-entering in the 7th slot. Woelfel's pitch, that's a strike. Lucier struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. Rain falling here in Brockton, but the teams are playing on. Joe and I have moved a bit under the grandstand, and the pitch, that's going to be a balk. As Lucier, Joe, this is the effect of the rain. It's probably caused some mud at the mound, and Woelfel stumbled, and that's a balk. He stumbled, and the ball came out of his hand, and the umpire is going to come over and check. And now they're going to call the catcher out to check the mound area. There's got to be mud there. We've had rain for about 2 innings. Woelfel caught a cleat and just tumbled down. The ball skirted loose. So that's a buck, and Piero goes into scoring position. No pitch. No balls and 1 strike to Noah Lucier. We'll see if he goes to shortstop and if they take Pistone out. Bottom of the 4th, Franklin trying to hold on to a 2-0 lead. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball to second. This will get the runner to third. And the throw is good and clean by Fitzgibbons. And they retire Lucier 4-3. Piero makes it to third, but there's 1 away, and Sean Thompson, the 8th hitter, will step up for the Raiders. Thompson also struck out looking in the 2nd inning when Woelfel retired the side on a double and then 3 straight strikeouts. 1 out, Runner on third. The pitch is bending in there for a strike to Thompson. Thompson, the left fielder. Runner on third with one out. Woelfel's pitch. Pitch is, a ball called there. Thompson has it 1-1. Long look by David Audette, the umpire at home, but he called it a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to the right-handed batter. That's a strike 2 call. 1-2 on Thompson. The Franklin infield is back. They're going to concede the run unless it goes directly to Noviello or the pitcher. Pitch is side armor outside for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Sean Thompson. In the rain here in Brockton. There are some patches of blue up ahead. Ground ball down the third base line. That's a fair ball. That's going to score a run. Going to second is Thompson. He's got a double. 2-1 as Thompson delivers a double just inside the line. Noviello dove for it and came up shy. Couldn't get it. And it was ruled fair by the third base umpire, Mo Duffy. And Thompson drives in the run. So it's 2-1. Franklin, 1 out, and Mike Lefebvre up. And Woelfel has like a tongue depressor to get the mud out of his cleats. Remember, he stumbled and caught a cleat in the mud. Rain falling here, a light rain, but rain nonetheless. And here's Lefebvre. He struck out swinging to end the second inning. He has a runner on second. Woelfel's pitch home. Ground ball to third. Noviello boots it. He boots it, and the runners will be safe at first and third. That's got to be an error. It's an error on Noviello. So instead of runner on second with 2 outs, it's first and third with 1 out. And we move to the top of the order, and Joe Sanchez will be up. We will watch Lefebvre off first base. We'll also watch Mackey to see what he does with the first and third situation. First and third, only 1 out. Woelfel's pitch home to Sanchez. That's a strike. Sanchez up for the 3rd time. He popped out in the first inning and grounded out to first base in the 3rd inning. Up here in the 4th. Pitch home, ground ball to first base. It's a foul ball. Lutazzi stabbed it. The run would have scored. It's 2 strikes on Sanchez. So far, Lefebvre has not taken off from first base on the pitch. We'll watch him here. It's no balls and 2 strikes. 2-1 Franklin, but Central has the tying run at third, the potential lead run at first. Woelfel's pitch home, a foul lash to the third base side. Hits the fence in 2 spots, the dugout and the fence, a hard foul, not a long foul, a hard foul down the third base line. Count hangs at no balls and 2 strikes. Lefebvre, the left-handed batter, facing the right-handed offerings from Woelfel. Here's his pitch home. Ground ball to shortstop. They're going to go to second for 1, and the game is tied. Out at second, but on the play, coming in to score was Sean Thompson, and it's 2-2. So the error proved costly. That potentially could have retired the side with no runs. And here's Dante Pistone up. The pitch is swung on and missed by Pistone, the right-handed batter. 2 outs, 1 on first. And that's Sanchez. Lefebvre was retired at second, 6-4. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Dante Pistone. All tied up here in the fourth. Here's the pitch home. That's low. 2 balls and 1 strike. On deck, the powerful hitting catcher, Dom Keegan. Big player, big at bat here for both teams. The 2-1 home. Pistone takes it high, 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. The rain has slowed down here in the 4th inning. It's quite a bit of patches of blue ahead, up overhead, I should say. But it is still raining.
Doesn't look too bad behind us either.
Good. Sanchez leads off first. He's a threat to go. 3-1. He stays. The pitch home. Ground ball to second. Fitzgibbons has it over Latazzi for the out, and the side is retired. 4-3. But Central gets 2 runs on only 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left. The score after 4 complete. Franklin 2, Central Catholic 2. So we've played 4. Now we have a tie game as Central scores 2, aided by an error. And they also had a walk that helped them, and a nice double by Thompson. So we move to the 5th, and up first for Franklin will be Scott Elliott, and he takes a ball 1 outside. The left-handing batter, Elliott, is 0 for 2. He struck out looking in the 1st and popped out to short in the 3rd. Up here in the 5th inning. Pitch by Abernathy. Elliott blasts it to right, but right there is the right fielder, Piero. He takes the line drive for the out. 1 up and 1 down here in the 5th inning. If they play 5 and the game is tied, and then there's rain, they will resume the game. If they don't get through the 5th and it's rained out, they will restart the whole game. But there's 1 out. The rain has let up. Just a few drops falling. Abernathy fires it into Haba on the inner half. The right-handed batting shortstop is 0 for 2. He struck out looking in the 1st and flew out to right field. Pitches high and tight. 1 ball and 1 strike. He flew out to right to Haba in the 3rd inning, up here in the 5th. 4-4 the score. State championship on the line. Remember, if Central wins, they'll play again because it's a double elimination. Central has lost 1 in the tournament. Franklin has not lost any. But if Franklin wins tonight, they're the champions. Pitches popped up sky high in the infield. First baseman Borelli coming down the line. Borelli makes the catch. Midway between home and first, he makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning, and this will bring up Jake Mackey. Mackey with the home run in the 1st inning to give Franklin its 2 runs. Then he lined out to left in the 3rd inning on a spectacular catch out there by Sean Thompson. He dove for the line and caught it. Here's Mackey, ground ball to 3rd. That's foul. All the way down to the tarp. It stays in foul territory. One of the Panthers will run down and retrieve it. Pitch is a strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Jake Mackey, the Franklin right-handed catcher. 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer. We're tied at 2 in the 5th inning. Aiden Abernathy in on relief for Coach Mark Pelletier and the Raiders of Central. Here's the pitch, changeup with strike 3 swinging. Nothing across for Franklin in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The score, Franklin 2, Central Catholic 2. Central Catholic's turn to bat here in the 5th inning. We are tied at 2, and Central will send up 3, 4, and 5 here in the 5th inning. Dom Keegan, Steve Hajar, and Mike Borelli. Keegan and Hajar have not been retired tonight. Keegan 2 for 2, Hajar 1 for 1 in a walk. Brian Woelfel in for his 5th inning on the mound for the Panthers. His pitch to Keegan is low and away, ball 1. Keegan, powerfully built right-handed batter. 1-0 home is a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. The rain is just a drop here and there. Woelfel's pitch, that's below the knees. 2-1 to Keegan. Hajar on deck, and then Mike Borelli. 3, 4, and 5. Woelfel, changeup, curveball, fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dom Keegan. Quite a bit of blue now overhead. Just an occasional drop of rain falling. Woelfel's pitch home is high and tight. 3-2. The string is out on Dom Keegan. Outfield deep. 3-2 home is way outside. Ball 4 to Keegan. He's on for the 3rd time. 2 walks and 2 singles and a walk. And Hajar is up. He's got a walk and a single. Hajar is their DH. Tall fella from the right side. Keegan leads off first. Woelfel's pitch home is outside, ball 1. One and 0 to Hajar. The stretch by Brian Woelfel. The pitch home, swung on and missed. A let up. Hajar had a rip on that one and just fouled it back. The wind not as strong at the moment. The flag barely waving out there in left center field. That's a change from what we've experienced tonight. Pitch is way outside. 2-1 on Hajar. Borelli on deck. We're tied at 2 in the bottom of the 5th. The Super 8 state championship game tonight. Ground ball to third. Noviello has it. He's going to go all the way to first. The strong throw is in time for the out. 5-3, but on the play, Keegan advances to second base. I don't know if Noviello, I guess he felt he didn't have him at second. Keegan makes it to second base.
Yeah, it almost looked as if Noviello couldn't find the grip on the ball because he clutched as if he was going to go to second, then adjusted himself and made the throw to first.
So with one on at second, Mike Borelli steps up. The right-handed batting first baseman. The first pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Keegan, the potential lead run off second base. He's got a big lead there. Secondary lead. The drive to deep right field. Going back for it is Wendell. He makes the catch. Keegan tags. Here's the throw by Wendell. It's going to be cut off, and Keegan gets to third base. 2 outs as they retire Borelli. Keegan, the potential lead run at third, and up to the plate is Mike Piero. He's doubled and walked. He scored 1 run, batting in the 6th slot. The right-handed batter is a right fielder for Mark Pelletier and the Central Catholic Raiders. 1 on third, 2 outs now. Woelfel from the stretch. The pitch home is a strike call to Piero. Piero backs off, now stands in. 1-0, 0-1. The pitch home hits him. It hit him. They're going to say that it hit the bat. They're going to have a conference between the home plate umpire, Audette, and the first base umpire, Brendan McCarthy, as to whether it hit the bat or the player. And they're going to say it hit the batter. Hit by pitch. Quick conference settles that. Now it's first and third. We'll have to watch Piero. He's doubled, as we said, and walked and scored on the after walking in the 4th. He's on first and third, 2 outs. Noah Lucier at the plate. Two runners on for Central in the 5th. Woelfel looking in for the sign and gets it. The pitch home, that's a strike to Lucier. Lucier bats from the right side. Franklin and Central tied at 2 in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs. Pitch home. Lucier backs away. It's
Mackey.
inside. Nice save by Mackey. 1-1 on Noah Lucier, who started the game pitching. The 1-1. That's a strike on the outer half. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So far, Piero has not moved off first base. He may go on this one. We'll watch him. 1st and 3rd. Piero takes off. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Nice pitch by Brian Woelfel. Nothing across for Central other than a walk and a hit batsman. We've played 5 complete. The score after 5, Central Catholic 2, Franklin 2. 5 now complete here from Campanelli Stadium. 2-2 the score, and Franklin in the 6th will send up their 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Let's check that. No, that's wrong. They'll send up 5, 6, and 7. Cooper Ross, Jack Nally, and Steve Lutazzi against the reliever Aiden Abernathy. He's pitched well coming out of the bullpen for Central. Franklin has not scored since the 1st inning. Abernathy's pitch home. It's a strike to Cooper Ross on a breaking ball. Franklin went down 1-2-3 in the 5th. And the pitch is popped up to right field, coming in hard. The right fielder and the second baseman, Lucier, who makes the, let's check that, Delaney. Pistone with the catch on a nice pop-up. Pistone started at short but went into second. And there's 1 up and 1 down for Jack Nally. Nally 0 for 2. Ross, when he was in there, was 0 for 1. Oh, now he's 0 for 1. He was walked and hit by a batter. Strike to Nally. He popped up in the 1st and flew out in the 4th. Pitch is low. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jack Nally. The rain has stopped. A lot of pink sky now. The 1-1 home is high and tight to Nally. He had some heat on that one. 2-1 on Jack Nally, the 6th hitter for Coach Zach Brown. Here's the pitch back, change up high. 3-1 on Nally. Lutazzi, the first baseman on deck. Lutazzi with a double tonight. 3 balls and 1 strike. The delivery home hits him. The 3rd batter hit.
I think it hit his bat.
They say it hit the bat?
Yeah.
Okay, they hit the knob of the bat. Oh, that's a break. That's a big break. Here's the 3-2 again. Pitch is popped up right below us. And you probably heard the sound 10 rows in front of us for a foul ball. We'll do the full count pitch again to Jack Nally. Here it is, 3-2. Pitch is lined to shortstop, and Lucier has it. Nally was right on it, lined out to short. 5 in a row, 6 in a row retired now by Central pitching. And Steve Lutazzi stands in. He's got a double and a flyout. Pitch is a let up for a strike. 2-2 in the top of the 6th. The line score at this point, 2-4-1 for Franklin, 2-5-0 for Central. Another changeup, it's a beauty, 2 strikes. One thing about Central, they stranded 8 runners in the first 5 innings. Pitch, fastball is fouled off. Franklin has stranded 5. No balls and 2 strikes to Steve Lutazzi. The left-handed there in the 7th, left-hander in the 7th hole. Let up is strike 3 called. And the side goes down, 1-2-3 in the 6th. The middle of 6, the score, Franklin 2, Central Catholic 2. We move to the bottom of the 6th in a tie game, 2-2. The Super 8 finals. it's a double elimination tournament. If Franklin loses, they'll play another game against Central. If Franklin wins, it's all over, and Franklin will be the state champions in the highest level possible here in Massachusetts. Bottom of the 6th, we'll see Sean Thompson, the 8th hitter, leading off for Central. He's 1 for 2 with a double, and he grounds it to third. That's going to be a foul ball. Noviello with the out, but it's going to be a foul ball. The fielders don't know it, but it's a foul ball. A late call. Noviello threw a shot over to first base, but it was foul. The home plate umpire, I guess, has that call, Joe, because it didn't reach the bag. And he called it late a foul, but Noviello didn't take a chance on it, and he whipped it over to first in time, though. But it's all for naught, just a long strike. And now a pop-up to the right field, first base side. Lutazzi back, he's got it. Nice play by Lutazzi. So they get the out anyway. 1 out in the bottom of the 6th, and the 9th hitter, Mike Lefebvre, the left-handed batting third baseman, will step up. He struck out swinging in the 2nd and reached on an error in the 4th for Central. 1 out, nobody on. Lefebvre against Woelfel. Ground ball, a third, foul. 0-1 on Mike Lefebvre. Woelfel will go to the wind on the 0-1 pitch home. Lefebvre takes it low, ball, 1-1. Pitch is ball 2. Lefebvre, a rare junior starting. He swings and fouls it back. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mike Lefebvre. 1 out here in the home 6th. Brian Wolf has gone the route so far for Franklin. 2-2 pitch home. Lefebvre swings and hits a little looper, caught by Noviello, and that's an out at third base. A little line, soft line drive to Noviello at third for the out. 2 up and 2 down in the home 6th. And we go to the top of the order in Joe Sanchez. He popped out, hit a grounder to the first for an out, and another fielder's choice for an out. Pitch to Sanchez is in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Joe Sanchez, the center fielder. The lefty up there against the righty Woelfel, swung on and fouled back. It's going to make it beyond the screen for a long foul behind home plate. No balls and 2 strikes to Joe Sanchez. The long look in, now the wind by Woelfel. The 2-strike pitch, it hit him. It hit him. He started to swing, and they called a swing. Joe, that's what I thought. I thought he swung. If you swing and you get hit, you're out, or it's a strike.
Yeah.
And that's the call. He did get hit, but it's a strikeout. And a 1-2-3 inning for Woelfel. Pelletier came out, but did not speak to the umpire. Nothing across in the 6th. 2/3 of the game are in the books, but nothing has been accomplished on the scoreboard. We're tied at 2, Franklin and Central Catholic. All the action on Franklin TV and mixlr.com. So we move to the top of the 7th, and Franklin is going to make a move. J.B. Flores is going to bat for Noviello. He hits the first one on the grounder to short. The throw over to first in time for the out. And Flores, batting for Noviello, is retired 6-3 for the first out. And that likely means that Noviello is going to come into the mound. We see him warming up on the left field sideline. It's likely he'll come into the game and pitch. He'll re-enter after being pinch hit for. Here's Wendell, the right fielder for Franklin. He pops it up to center field. Lazy fly ball. The center fielder there has it. Sanchez for 2 outs. 2 up and 2 down in the 7th. We move to the top of the order in Colby Fitzgibbons. Fitzgibbons singled, scored in the first, flew out in the second, and grounded out to second base in the 4th inning. Nine in a row now retired by Abernathy. Strike one. Let's check that. Yeah, it is 9, isn't it?
Yes, it's 9.
9 in a row for Abernathy. Pitch is too high to Fitzgibbons, the left-handed batter. At the plate for the 4th time tonight, the Franklin second baseman. Abernathy into the wind. The pitch home is lined over the head of the shortstop and into left field for a base hit. Beautiful hit by Colby Fitzgibbons. He's now 2 for 4.
Yeah, that's the first hit Abernathy surrendered tonight.
That breaks the string of 9 straight retired by Abernathy. And Scott Elliott will be coming up to the plate. Elliott, so far tonight, the left-handed batter struck out looking in the first, popped out in the 3rd, and lined out to right field in the 5th. 2 outs, runner off first, a ground ball, a high bouncer to second base. Nice play there by Pistone. Over to first in time for the out, and this side is retired. No hits, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. The score in the middle of the 7th, 2-2. The bottom of the 7th will see Central bring up 2, 3, and 4. Noviello, who was pinch hit for, re-enters the game at third base. So he did take some warm-up tosses on the left field sideline, but Woelfel is still on the mound. But Noviello would be warm, and he could replace Woelfel at any time. Bottom of the 7th, here's the pitch home. Ground ball stabbed by Woelfel. He'll wait for Lutazzi and throw it over there for the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 7th. Dom Keegan, always a threat, steps up. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. 2 singles and a walk in the 5th inning. Brian Woelfel into the 7th. And now the heart of the Central order. The pitch is low, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Dom Keegan. The 1-0 home at the knees, low, ball 2. Keegan did walk his last time at bat. Woelfel working quickly, delivers home. That's a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to Keegan. On deck, Steve Hasher, their DH in the 4th slot. The 2-1 pitch, ground ball weakly to first base. Foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 7th, we are tied at 2. The line score, Franklin 2-5-1, Central 2-5-0. Woelfel's 2-2 pitch popped up down the right field line. Foul, drifting towards the stands, out of play. And it hits into the stands well beyond the reach of Lutazzi, 15 rows deep. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dom Keegan. The 2-2 pitch home. Keegan takes it outside, ball 3. 3-2, Keegan. Woelfel gets the ball and into the wind. Pitch home is strike 3 called. Keegan complains to the umpire, took 5 steps to first base, and he's rung up. 5th, 6th strikeout in the game for Woelfel. He's pitched great, Joe.
He's a real bulldog on the mound. He went right at Keegan on that at bat. First pitch ball, but then really right at him and able to ring him up with a called 3rd strike.
Hajar takes ball 1. Hajar, the cleanup hitter, he's 1 for 2 with a walk. Ground ball, foul to third base off the tarp down the left field line. 1 ball and 1 strike to Steve Hajar. Franklin would love to get through 2, 3, and 4 cleanly here in the 7th inning. And now a timeout called as they were waiting for the ball to be retrieved in the left field line. 1 ball and 1 strike to Steve Hajar. Pitch home almost hits Hajar. 2-1. Oh, we hope you're enjoying the Super 8 finals from Campanelli Stadium in Brockton. Pete Royce and Joe Clark. Pitch home is a ball. Our producer tonight is Chris Flynn, working one camera along with Sophie Olson. 3-1 to Steve Hazard. The bottom of the 7th. The 3-1 home. Hazard walks. He takes ball 4 high and tight. We'll watch the Franklin coach to see if he is going to have anybody stirring. We saw Noviello warming up on the sidelines, not in the bullpen because that's way out of the left center field area, but there's an open area to third base where he was pitching in between innings. The foul back by Borelli, their 5th hitter, first baseman. Tonight he's 0 for 3, a pop-up, a strikeout, and a flyout. Hazard leads off first. The potential lead run late in the innings here, late innings. Pitch is a strike to Hazard, to Borelli at the knees. Woelfel, who finished the game in the first round, the semifinals, up on the hill now. The pitch home, ground ball in the hole, and caught by Haba.
What a play by
Long
Haba.
throw to first in time for the out. What a play by Alex Haba. And Lutazzi dug it out at first. The team mobs Alex Haba. We've played 7 from Borelli, from Campanelli Stadium. The score, Franklin 2, Central Catholic 2. We move to the 8th inning, and how many times does it happen the player makes the fine play, leads off the next inning, and here's Alex Haba to lead off the 8th. We're tied at 2. What a play by Haba to end the bottom of the 7th. Haba tonight, struck out looking, takes a strike here, flew out to right field and popped out to third base. Pitch home, line drive to right center field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. So Haba, following the great play defensively, leads off the 8th with a single.
Great piece of hitting there by Haber. Really flew his hands through the zone, was able to go the opposite way with that.
1 on to lead, no outs to lead off the 8th. Zach Brown giving you the signals to Mackey and to Haba at first.
Haber's got a lot of speed, but I would be very surprised if they ran on Keegan.
Would Mackey be bunting here, Joe?
Definitely a possibility, but I'm not sure if you want to bunt with a kid who hit a home run in the first
Yeah,
inning.
exactly. And their 4th hitter. But it is the 8th inning, and any run is huge. Abernathy's been tough to reach. He goes from the stretch now. Mackey at home, not bunting, line drive into, no, it's, what a play by Pistone. They turn a double play. A spectacular play. Pistone to Lucier for the double play.
Wow.
What a play for Central Catholic. He robbed Mackey of a hit and then he turned 2. Pistone to Lucier to Borelli. And here's Ross with 2 outs in the 8th. We've seen some spectacular defense in this ball game. Abernathy pitches home, ball 2. I felt the first game between these two teams, Joe, the state semis, was like a college baseball game, the quality of play. And that's been continuing here tonight. Pitch home is a ball, 3-0 to Ross. How big was that double play? Instead of first and second or first and third with no outs, nobody on with 2 outs. 3-0 now to Cooper Ross. The wind by Abernathy. That's ball 4. So Ross takes a walk, goes down to first, and Jack Nally is up. Nally is 0 for 3. A pop-up, a fly-out, and a line drive to shortstop. And here comes Mark Pelletier, their coach. Let's see what he chooses to do. Big conference on the mound. Will they change pitchers again? 2-2. Line score now, 2-6-1 for Franklin. And for Central, 2-5-0. Franklin bats with 1 on and 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. Long conference. Abernathy still out there, and it looks like he will continue as the conference breaks up. Nally will stand in, the center fielder for Franklin, batting in the 6th slot. Hit a line drive to shortstop his last time up against Abernathy. We'll keep an eye on Ross at first base. Abernathy with the stretch. And the pitch home. It's high, ball 1 to Nally. Ross stayed right at first. Top of the 8th, 2 outs, 2-2. Franklin and Central. The stretch by Abernathy. The 1-0 home. That's a ball. 2-0 on Nally. Steve Lutazzi on deck. Lutazzi with a ringing double in this game. Abernathy checks Ross at first. The set, the 2-0 pitch home, swung on and a little looper to second base. Pistone has it, and the side is retired. Franklin gets 1 hit, they leave 1. The middle of the 8th, the score, Franklin 2, Central Catholic 2. Well, Brian Woelfel is still on the mound for Franklin into the 8th inning. And Woelfel will face 6, 7, and 8 for Central here in the 8th inning. And this part of the order has been productive. Piero, who lead off, he has a double. Thompson, who bat third, he has a double. So it'll be Piero, the right fielder, leading off. He doubled, walked, scored, and was hit by a pitch. So he's not been retired today. Brian Woelfel facing Central in the 8th. Here we go. The pitch is a ball inside, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to Mike Piero, the right fielder. And the pitch, that's a strike. 1-1. Woelfel has given up only 5 hits in the game. And he's tied 2-2. Here's the pitch home. It's way outside by Mackey all the way to the backstop. 2 balls and 1 strike to Mike Piero. Noah Lucier, pitcher turned shortstop, will be up next. Here's the pitch home. Swung on and missed as Piero aired it out. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mike Piero. Outfield straight away. The 2-2 pitch home. It's just high. 3-2. We go full to Mike Piero. He has not been retired yet. The wind, the 3-2 pitch home. Piero lines it foul deep down the right field line. Swung late. Lined it foul into the stands and over the stands down the right field line. We'll do the full count pitch again. Brian Woelfel, the senior right-hander. The pitch swung on and hit into center field for a base hit. Hit softly to center by Piero. And just like Franklin in the top of the 8th, they get their lead runner on. And this will bring up Noah Lucier. He's the 7th hitter. Look for a bunt here from Lucier. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground out.
And Franklin playing ready for the bunt.
So Woelfel from the stretch. Noviello in on the grass at third. Lutazzi holding at first. Piero, the pitch home, no bunt, a swing and a miss. We'll see on pitch number 2 if Mark Pelletier has his team bunting. Lucier, no balls and 1 strike. Woelfel checks on Piero. He's not running. The pitch home, ground ball. That's a fair ball down the left field line. Digging for it there is Elliott. He gets it in, but there's going to be runners on second and third with no outs. So Piero moves to third, Lucier to second with nobody out here in the 8th inning. Franklin will have its work cut out for him there, so Lucier was not bunting at all. That was very close down the third base line. And here comes Zach Brown, and he's going to go to a relief pitcher. It's going to be Noviello who's going to get the ball. His job to get some strikeouts. Pause in the action in the top of the 8th, the bottom of the 8th. as Woelfel comes off the mound and gets a good hand. The fan standing on the third base side. He gets a hug from his teammates. Brian Woelfel, he pitched his heart out. There's a break in the action in the bottom of the 8th. The score, Franklin 2, Central Catholic 2. So after the conference, Zach Brown is going to bring in Jake Noviello from third base and insert Shane O'Neill, the junior, at third base. Noviello will have his work cut out for him as he inherits runners on second and third with nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. 2-2 score. Noviello will face Sean Thompson, their 8th hitter, who's 1 for 3, a strikeout, a double, and a run scored, and a pop-out. Noviello to the right-handing batter, Sean Thompson. The infield is in. The pitch by Noviello is a strike. 0-1 to Sean Thompson. Pressured situation for Franklin and pitcher Jake Noviello. 0-1. The stretch. The pitch home. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Thompson behind 0-2. Always have to be careful of a safety squeeze or any kind of squeeze. There is the 8th batter up there, but now it's 2 strikes on him. The stretch by Noviello. The big right-hander with the delivery home. The let-up is high. Took a lot off of it. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Thompson. Try to get him to go for that pitch, which was way up. 1-2. Thompson, a double and a run scored in the second. The 1-2 pitch by Noviello. Outside and low, 2-2. Just missing was Jake Noviello, the tall right-hander. Bound for Fairfield University, will pitch for the Stags next season. Right now, he's trying to shut down this rally by Central Catholic High School. The 2-2 pitch home. Swung on and fouled back. Thompson just gets a piece. Sean Thompson gets a piece. The infield in all the way around. The outfield standard. Maybe in a couple of steps on the 8th hitter, Sean Thompson. The 2-2 pitch about to come. Noviello. The long pause. Here it comes. Thompson takes strike 3 called. 1 out in the 8th. What a pitch by Noviello. Worked the count beautifully. Got ahead 2 strikes and then worked it for the strikeout. And here's the 9th hitter. Anything goes here, Joe, with the 9th hitter up. Second and third, 1 out.
Big spot.
This is Mike Lefebvre, the left-handed batter. Noviello's pitch, high and away. Looked like a pitch out. It might have been a pitch out. Might have been anticipating Zach Brown that they were going to go for the squeeze play. Noviello calmly digs some dirt out of his cleat. 1-0 to Lefebvre. First base is open, infield still in. Outfield step in on the 9th hitter. He's 0 for 3 is Lefebvre. The 1-0 pitch home. Swung on and foul back. No bunt there. Lefebvre going for the swing. Now in 1-1. They can still put a play on here. 1 out. Second and third in the bottom of the 8th. We're tied at 2. The state finals. The stretch by Noviello. The 1-1 pitch. About to come home, and here it is. Lefebvre swings and misses, strike 2. 1-2 on Lefebvre. Stress pitches for Jake Noviello. He looks pretty calm out there. Second and third, 2 out, 1 out. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mike Lefebvre. The top of the order is next. The stretch by Noviello. The 1-2 pitch home. Lefebvre swings and misses, strike 3. 2 outs in the 8th. And now we go to the top of the order in Joe Sanchez. Sanchez is 0 for 4. A pop-up, a ground out, and a strikeout. Noviello facing the left-handed batter, the leadoff batter. The infield backs up. The outfield still in on Sanchez, their number one hitter. Second and third, 2 outs. Noviello with the stretch. The pitch home to Sanchez. It hits him. It hits him. It hits him on the shoulder, and the bases are loaded. And this will bring up Dante Pistone. They did have a base open. That's the good news. The bad news is there's no place to put Pistone. Base is loaded in the bottom of the 8th. Pistone is 0 for 4, a ground out, a fly out, a ground out, and a ground out. The 2-hitter, the only sophomore in the lineup for Coach Mark Pelletier. The stretch by Noviello. He'll work from the stretch with the bases loaded. The pitch home, Pistone fouls it back and out of play. Mackey took a look. Pistone with a nice rip on it. And it's strike 1 to Pistone. Bases loaded in the 8th inning. We're tied at 2. Pistone up there. No balls and 1 strike against the reliever, Big Jake Noviello. The stretch by Noviello. The long pause, the delivery home. Pistone takes a strike 2. A strike 2. About 1,000 umpires here on the central side felt it was a ball, but it's called a strike.
Yeah, a late signal, but definitely looked like a strike.
No balls and 2 strikes to Pistone. Noviello looks in for the sign. The stretch by Jake. The 2-strike pitch home. Pistone takes strike 3 called. What a job by Noviello. Is he ever pumped, Joe? Look at him going out to the dugout.
And he should be. Strikes out the side to escape the second and third no-out jam.
Unbelievable. Joe, that's a terrific moment for Jake Noviello.
That's where your leaders come up and come through in big spots.
Strike 3 called, and we go to the 9th. The score, Franklin 2, Central 2. We move to the top of the 9th after a tremendous relief stint by Jake Noviello. He came in with second and third no outs, and he strikes out 3 of the next 4 batters. 1 reached on a hit by batter, but it was Jake Noviello, the star of that inning. We move to the 9th. We're tied at 2. Lutazzi, Noviello, and Wendell will bat against Abernathy. The pitch to Lutazzi. The left-handed batter, first baseman, takes the ball outside. Lutazzi is 1 for 3 with a double. Top of the 9th. We're tied at 2. Abernathy's pitch home. Lutazzi takes a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Besides the double, Lutazzi flew out in the second inning and took a 3rd strike in the 6th. Lutazzi tries to bunt. The third baseman was way back there, and he missed it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You have to wonder, Joe, when they had 8-9 up in that inning, why maybe they could have gone for the safety squeeze.
Yeah, surprised to see that they didn't.
Lutazzi with a single to left field, and Franklin has their leadoff man on in the 9th inning. And up to the plate now is Jake Noviello. What a way to help his cause. He helped the team tremendously in the bottom of the 8th. I got to think he's going to be bunting here, Joe.
Yeah, sign put on would not be shocked at all.
Franklin now with 7 hits. Both teams with 2 runs and 7 hits. Franklin has left 7. Central has left 12 runners in the game. They have the leadoff man, this Lutazzi up first. Noviello will not take the pitch as it's thrown over, and it's back to first safely by Lutazzi. Lutazzi 2 for 4 tonight.
Seniors coming through for Franklin.
Here's Noviello. Will he bunt? He squares around. He takes it too high. The throw to first. It sails into right field. Lutazzi digs for second. Will he turn there? He was going for third. Here's the throw to third. He's going to make it with a head-first slide. Franklin with a runner on third with no outs. A rare mistake, Joe, by Keegan. He threw the ball into right field, and that's doing some because Borelli is a big target at first base. Franklin now with a couple of shots to get in. Latazzi up third with no outs in the ninth. And Pelletier will play the infield in on Noviello. We still could have a bunt. Latazzi at third. Noviello looking to Coach Brown for a signal, who's having a conversation with an assistant coach right now. Abernathy gathering himself on the mound, and here's Noviello standing in. 1 ball, no strikes to Jake Noviello. The full windup, the pitch, a changeup is high, 2-0 on Noviello. Top of the ninth, 2-2. The Super 8 finals from Brockton. Pete Royce, Joe Clark. The 2-0 pitch home, swung on the ground ball to third. It's caught. The throw to first is in time for the out. Nice play by the third baseman there. Mike Lefebvre, 1 out. Latazzi off third base, and here's Evan Wendell. Franklin could still put a play on with only 1 out. Wendell has struck out, been hit by a pitch, and flown out. And a big conference by Central Catholic. Part of it, I think, is how they're going to stack up their defense on Wendell. Talking to everybody out there is Mark Pelletier. Franklin has a runner on third now with 1 out. Central adds second and third, no outs in the bottom of the 8th, and could not score. The conversation is over, and Wendell will step up. He's had a long conversation with Zach Brown, his coach. I wouldn't be surprised to see a bunt, a safety squeeze here. The bunt laid down, but Latazzi has to be heads up at third base. Wendell steps in. Is it starting to rain again? I believe it is. The pitch is blocked by Keegan. He saved a run. Keegan saved a run. Pitch was nowhere close. 1 ball and no strikes to Wendell. Latazzi on third. 1 out in the 9th. Abernathy from the stretch this time. The set. The pitch to Wendell. He's bunting.
It's a suicide squeeze. He's in.
Latazzi scores. It's a squeeze, and Wendell reaches base. The third baseman mishandled it. Franklin leads it 3-2 in the 9th.
You called it, Pete.
I thought maybe a safety, Joe, but they went for the suicide squeeze, and it's an error. Allows Wendell to score, but he got a beauty of a bunt down, Joe. An absolute beauty. If he fields it, I don't think they got him because Latazzi was coming. E5. There's the steal, the throw down, he's out. So Wendell is caught stealing. 2-4 on the play, 2 outs.
Well, that's why they don't run on Dom Keegan.
Yeah, they haven't run him all tournament against him as the Panthers. Here they run into an out. But the big run is in, and here's the top of the order for Colby Fitzgibbons. 3-2 Franklin. Abernathy, the wind, the pitch is swung on and fouled back. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th. Wow, Central will have 2, 3, 4, and 5. Keegan, Hajar, and Borelli. Wow, will Noviello have his work cut out for him again? Timeout called by the umpire. The center fielder was not happy with something. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. 3-2 Franklin. Abernathy against the left-handed batter Fitzgibbons. The throw home is in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Colby Fitzgibbons. Franklin will have to face 3, 4, and 5. The shot is a grounder to second. Up by Pistone over to first in time for the out. Fitzgibbons is retired. There's 3 outs. But Franklin scores 1. They had 1 hit, 1 error, and nobody left. The score in the middle of the 9th. Franklin 3, Central Catholic 2. We move to the bottom of the ninth. Franklin 3, Central Catholic 2. Franklin will face 3, 4, and 5, the meat of the Central order. Keegan, Hajar, and Borelli. Keegan is 2 for 3. 2 singles, a walk, and a strikeout looking. Noviello in on his second full inning of relief. If Franklin wins it, they're the state champions. If they lose, there'll be another game against Central 2 nights from now. Noviello, the first pitch of the bottom of the ninth, he pours it home for a strike.
Keegan not happy with the call.
He was very upset taking a called third strike in the 7th inning. The 0-1 pitch home, line drive, deep to right field. Is it fair? Is it
foul?
Fair? It's foul ball. It had home run distance. We mentioned the wind, Joe, but that didn't matter. That was a blast.
Pure power.
Yes.
Pure power.
And there was
on that.
actually no wind at that time. A long strike. Home run length by Keegan. Foul to right field. No balls and 2 strikes to Keegan. Nobody out in the bottom of the ninth. On deck is their cleanup hitter, Hajar. He's 1 for 2 on the game. Keegan, 2 for 3. Noviello, no balls and 2 strikes. He's gone to his changeup in this situation before. Here's the pitch. It is the changeup, and it's a ball. Oh, the dugout was ready to cheer on the Franklin side.
Just a tad outside.
Whoa, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Keegan. The powerfully built catcher. Here's the 1-2. It's in the dirt. 2-2. Looked like a slider of some sort. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The task here is to keep the runners off the bases. Noviello, the sign and the windup. The pitch home is ball 3. Again, a very close pitch. 3-2. Keegan from an 0-2 hole has the count at full. 3-2.
It's just eerily similar to about that end of the first game between these two.
Noviello's pitch home is a foul ball by Keegan. He stays alive. A nice pitch by Noviello to Keegan. The rain is falling again here. Falling a little harder now. We had about a 2-inning gap of rain, but now it's back. The bottom of the ninth. Noviello, the payoff pitch again to Keegan. Here it is, it's ball 4. The potential tying run at first. Hajar, the cleanup hitter, comes up. Hajar with a single, a walk, a ground out and a walk. So he's 1 for 2. Capable of going deep and ending the game. 1 out, nobody out, 1 on in the bottom of the ninth. Franklin trying to preserve this victory and clinch the state championship in the Super 8 classification, the highest level in the state. Hajar at the plate. Noviello from the stretch. Keegan leads away. Here's the pitch home, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Steve Hajar, the designated hitter, the cleanup batter for Central Catholic. Noviello checks Keegan. The pitch home is a strike. 1-1 to Hajar. The rain falling is probably as hard as it's fallen all day right now. But they're not stopping play. No outs in the bottom of the ninth. Big Jake Noviello on the mound. Keegan leads away from first, held on by Lutazzi. The 1-1 pitch home. It's an outside pitch, ball 2. 2-1 to Hajar. The infield deep and swung around to left on Steve Hajar. The 2-1 pitch, the stretch, Noviello home with it. Swung on and popped up. High pop-up to center field. Coming in is the center fielder, Nally. He makes the catch. That's a big out on Hajar.
Huge.
1 out in the ninth, and here's Borelli. And one thing about Borelli, Joe, he is not fleet of foot. Remember, he was thrown out in the deep hole by Haba to end the 8th inning, the 7th inning rather. He does have power though. Tonight he's popped out, struck out, flew out, and grounded out. His ground out was in a spectacular play by Alex Haba. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner. Is that what we're having here, or a pinch hitter?
Not.
Are they going to pinch hit for Borelli?
They are pinch hitting. Number 10.
Okay, so batting for Borelli. We mentioned he's not fleet of foot. That may be one of the reasons. We'll identify him for you. For Borelli, as Noviello totes the rubber. And that's Ian Ferris, a senior. Ferris up there, takes a strike. Ferris with the strike. No balls and 1 strike. Ferris batting for Borelli. Noviello checks the runner. Keegan, pitch home. Strike 2 called. Strike 2. And they are. So it's 2 strikes on Ferris, the pinch hitter. The pitch is strike 3 called. He took 3 pitches. 2 outs in the 9th. And here's Piero. He's been tough. 4th K for Noviello. Piero tonight, a double, a walk, a hit by a pitch, and a single. They've not retired Piero. He's 2 for 2, a run scored. And a walk and a hit by a pitch. 2 outs in the 9th. Franklin holding on in the rain in Brockton. Noviello calmly chasing some mud out of his cleats. Piero is the 6th hitter in the lineup. The right fielder with Keegan off first base, the potential tying run. If Franklin can get the out here, they're the state champions. Noviello from the stretch. Piero at home. The pitch home. Strike 1. Franklin crowd gathering to the lower reaches of the boxes down the left field line. They still have an out to go. Noviello again getting the mud out of his cleats in the steady rain here at Campanelli Stadium. No balls and 1 strike. Keegan leads off first. We'll keep an eye on him. Noviello, the stretch, the pitch home. Piero hits a ground ball into right field for a base hit. Wendell has it. He's going to keep Keegan at second base. And Central is still alive, and Noah Lucier will be at the plate. Lucier tonight, a double, a walk, a hit by a batter. No, check it, that was Piero. New Lucier, a strikeout, a ground out, a strikeout, and a double. Lucier with the potential tying run on second, the potential winning run on first. Again, Noviello gets the mud out of his cleats in the steady rain. Noah Lucier, the pitcher turned shortstop. 2 outs in the 9th. Noviello takes the stretch, gets the sign, checks the runner off second. The pitch home to Lucier. Strike 1 called. So important to get ahead of these batters. No balls and 1 strike to Noah Lucier. The pitch home by Noviello. The let up, the save by Mackey. A beautiful stop in the backstop for Mackey to deny the potential winning run to go to second base. 1 ball and 1 strike to Noah Lucier. He doubled his last time out. Noviello calmly retreats to the mound. Rain falling pretty steady here in Brockton. Noviello facing Lucier, the 7th hitter in the lineup for Central. The 1-1 pitch about to come. Keegan off second. He's the potential tying run. The pitch home is a strike called at the shoulders. The fans here in the home side not happy with that. 2 strikes on Lucier, 1 ball. 2 runners on in the bottom of the 9th. Franklin leading at 3-2. And Lucier will back out of the plate, the batter's box. The heaviest rain we've seen all night falling now. Noviello gets the sign from Mackey. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The long pause, the stretch by Noviello. The 1-2 pitch to Lucier. Here it is, a let up. It's strike 3 call.
Franklin wins.
Franklin is the state champion. Franklin is the state champion. Strike 3 call. Franklin is your Super 8 high school state champion for the state of Massachusetts in 2018. A spectacular performance by Jake Noviello, and a clutch bunt by Evan Wendell wins it for Franklin. Franklin is the best team in the state, from Boston to the hills of Central Mass, to the Berkshires in western part of the state, to Cape Cod. It doesn't matter. Franklin is number 1. They finish the season as the Super 8 champions. They defeat Central Catholic here tonight, 3-2. Well, it's all over. Franklin is the state champion, the Super 8 champions. They win it. Dramatic game, 3-2, joined by the coach, Coach Zach Brown. And Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Honestly, right now I'm at a loss for words. It really hasn't hit. There were some special moments there, but I'm sure over the next few days it'll all sink in.
Tell us about your strategy. First of all, Woelfel pitches a great game, but then you had Noviello ready and you made the move. Why did you make that move?
Well, we had kind of predetermined. Well, I would say we've treated every game like an elimination game. That aggressiveness philosophy's kind of worked for us so far. I didn't really want to go away from that, even though I knew we had one more game. We were going to throw Jake no matter what in a critical moment. If things didn't turn out positively for us, then we would have pulled him and saved him for the next game. But he was able to get us out of a really tight jam. We were able to get a run across in the ninth, and at that point, what else can you ask for? Your best guy on the hill got a chance to nail it down, and he did a great job.
Walk us through that eighth inning. So he comes in second and third, no outs. Boom, boom, boom. He hit one batter in 3 Ks.
Yeah, he's just a special competitor. Been working really hard for this moment. I don't think he wanted it to be as difficult as it was, but he's a tireless worker, a tremendous competitor, great leader. We felt like right there, if we were going to lose it, it was going to be with our best guy. He obviously came out and did a great job, was able to get us out of there unscathed, and it really injected our team with life. We were able to come in and push a run across.
Talk about that run in the ninth inning. So Lutazi reaches, then they overthrow to first base. He gets to third. Now you're runner on third, no outs. You waited till the second batter to put the squeeze play on.
Yeah, Evan Wendell's a special kid. He's had a really tough year on a personal level, and he's just been so consistent, nails all year. I just had this feeling like he was going to get it done. We waited one pitch just because I wasn't sure if they were going to pitch out there or not. And then, once I knew that we were in a pretty good place, I had all the confidence in the world that he was going to get it done.
Yep. Great victory. What's I know it's hard to put in words, Coach, but what does it mean? State champions, Franklin High School. You're the coach.
It means a lot, but I'll tell you one thing. We have a tremendous staff. I love our staff. I feel privileged to go to work with these guys every single day. They invest so much in the program. Honestly, I'm the head coach, but these guys are as equally important to our program, and they deserve a lot of the credit. And then lastly and most importantly, it's about the players and our seniors especially, but it's about the players. These kids are so resilient. They're so tough. They play the game the right way. They're good sportsmanship all the time. I'm just so proud of them on so many levels. I can't wait to get back to Franklin and celebrate with the rest of the town.
You put it on the players, Coach, and I know they love you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, and appreciate everything you do for us.
Zach Brown, the winning coach. Franklin is the state champs. They win it 3-2. Franklin High is your Super 8 champions. They win it, a dramatic game here, 3-2, joined by a cast of stars. How can you say who's the best star? They all were terrific. Let's run down the list. Evan Wendell to my far left. We got Brian Woelfel over here, Jake Mackey and Jake Noviello. Let's start with Mr. Wendell. You dropped down that bunt. Walk us through that bunt in the ninth inning.
Well, I went up there and Coach gave me the squeeze sign, but then they conferenced at the mound and he was like, you know what, we're going to take it off because they're probably talking about this. They probably think we're going to squeeze. So we took it off and he threw me a dirt ball, which means they knew it was a squeeze. It was a great call. And then the second pitch, he put the squeeze on again and I laid it down and got it done.
It was a beautiful bunt. I think that ball went about 20 feet to third base. You beat it out. They called it an error, but you were flying down the line. How'd that feel?
I'll take it. Hey, the run scored. I don't care how it scored. I'll take it. It was awesome.
Okay, we'll move to Brian Woelfel. Woelfel on short pitch, short day's rest, 3 days rest. You were outstanding, 2 runs in 7 innings. Tell us about your mound effort tonight.
Coming off of a short rest, my arm felt fine. I knew the defense would have my back. We would put some runs on the board. Mackey got us going early with that home run. That was a huge part in my confidence on the mound, just having that lead, knowing that I had something to fall back on. And then going forward, it was just a matter of keeping it down in the zone to those kids. Those were the best hitters I've ever faced. And a matter of just keeping them away and keeping them down and trusting the fielders behind me.
Yep, that was great. Congratulations, Jake Mackey, first home run of the season. Walk us through that blast in the first inning.
I don't even know. It was 2-0. They were pitching me away both times we played them, and I'm just looking for an inside fastball, looking for the pitch I can hit, and they gave it to me, and I put a good swing on it.
Did you know it was gone when you hit it?
I did, but I didn't want to. I've never hit one before. I didn't want to trot it or anything.
What a time for your first, huh?
I know, it's crazy.
What was it like catching Brian and catching Jake in the game tonight?
I've caught them all year. You know what they're going to do. They're just going to be awesome and just pound the strike zone and do what they do. Just awesome to catch these guys.
Okay, we'll bring in Jake Noviello. Jake, second and third, eighth inning, you come in on the mound. Yeah. Tie score, you shut him down. How did you ever do it?
Well, Brian's been picking me up all year, coming in to help me out. So I thought, do it for my friend over there and back him up. Just freaking awesome. Just awesome by the guys. I had total confidence in them, in my defense, and I just hit my spots and tried to execute. So
you had 6 outs in the 2 innings you relieved. Yeah. 5 of them were strikeouts. The 3 in the 8th inning, then 2 in the 9th. What about that last batter? Where was that last pitch called strike 3?
I was right down the middle. No, it was just awesome. I was all jacked up. I don't know if it was the adrenaline or the second Mountain Dew I drank, but all right, Red Bull. It was just awesome, just pumped up.
What's the victory mean to your team? You're state champions.
It's the best way to go out. I know Brian and I and Evan are seniors, and everybody says state championship's the best way, and only one team gets to do this in the Super 8 tournament, only 2 teams in Division I. So just to be one of those teams is great. So we're very thankful.
You were so poised. I think the most difficult you had in pitching out there was getting the mud out of your cleats.
Yeah, no, it was really bad, actually. At the end, that last batter, I was having trouble getting a grip on my curveball. But, they're playing through it, too. So I knew I had to battle through and just do the best I could. And worked out.
Did a great job. Congratulations, guys. Celebration and honor. There you go. Evan Wendell, Brian Wolfel, Jake Mackey, and Jake Noviello. Franklin's your state champs. They win it over Central 3-2. Franklin, your state champ. Joe Clark, Pete Royce back. Joe, you're a senior. You go out in Class 2.
Great way to end it on great, really career for Franklin sports ball, the senior class. Yeah. Jake, obviously, football, and then they've had success in basketball, obviously state championships. Appearances, haven't been able to win the big one, but they've made the appearance. So, and biggest one of all today.
It really was, and they won it in dramatic fashion. I was telling you offline, Joe, I thought these games were like college baseball games.
Really high-level played games, and that's why it's the Super 8. It's the best of the best, and they played like it throughout this run. All really good, close games late, and then able to win unblemished.
And Joe, I know you're quite a historian here. Last time Franklin was the state champ was when?
32 years ago.
Wow, 32 years, and you couldn't be happier for Zach Brown. What a great class act he is.
Yeah, he really deserves it. The entire senior class deserves it. They're great leaders. They're all great kids. The whole team, really. They all. Brian Wolfel said last week, there's no team that loves each other more, and they play like it. They play for one another.
Can you imagine the memories they're going to have now as they go forward in their careers?
Super 8 champions. Right now, they're one of only five teams that can claim they ever won a Super 8. So,
thanks a lot, Joe. Good luck at Xavier.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Joe Clark. This is Pete Royce. On behalf of our crew, Chris Flynn was calling the shots from the camera angles, working the camera along with Sophie Olsen, and that's going to do it. We hope you enjoyed this coverage of the Super 8 state champions. Franklin is your winner, 3-2 over Central Catholic. For the whole crew, so long, neighbors.